Okay, guys, we are on episode 2 of Sydney's journey, and in all these videos, you'll see is me working with her on the very first week. So, right away, we start with getting her in a good mood. We're playing with her, trying to get her interested in some food in my hand right here, and we just start luring her, meaning she's got to follow my hand, and when she does, then I'm going to communicate to her and say yes, and then allow her to eat the food in my hand. That yes word is very similar to a clicker. I'm sure many of you have heard of the clicker training. It's the same exact thing. I just use my voice instead of using the clicker. Keeps my hands more free. So as you can see, I'm kind of luring her around. I am trying to get her into some new positions here, into the sit right here. And as soon as her butt hits the ground, I say yes, and then I allow her to come and get the food. What this is doing is building a foundation of communication so that she knows exactly what she did, meaning she did it correctly, and that she's going to get that reward. So that's what that yes word means. We start using other words in this too, and we'll go over those in the future. But for right now, all I'm doing is just having her interested, following my hand, trying to get her introduced to the luring concept. And we'll get into all positions. So we have our sits, we have our downs. So right here, I'm trying to get her into the down. She's still trying to figure it out. So I pull on the leash downwards just to help her a little bit, and then boom, now she got it. Immediately as her elbows hit the floor, I release and I say that yes word and give her the food. So the next one here, we're working on a little bit of a heel position. I got her around and onto my side into a sit. And then now this is the place command. And all of these that you're noticing, we're in and out of the behaviors really, really fast. I don't want the duration just yet. I just want to get her comfortable with getting into the position and then immediately out. What this does is get her really understanding exactly what I want her to do, and majority of this is all just body mechanics. The other thing in week 1 is we start working on loose leash walking. So as you can see right here, she just does not care about these leash pops. She ignores, she pulls right there. So we're teaching her even there's a little pop, and she still goes right back to pulling, just kind of craziness, excited, that sort of thing. So to upgrade her, we upgraded her to a prong collar, and even right here, oh, I'm sorry, not yet. This is still the flat collar. So right there, just completely doesn't care. You can see me saying that in the video. So we have to upgrade dogs like her that are more resilient to the prong collar. So now I have her on the prong collar, and boom, look at that. Immediate turn back with that prong pop. That's the difference with some dogs. They need a little bit more pressure to say, hey, I mean something. You can't just ignore me and pull me on this leash anymore. This is such a huge process for the dog to learn, and it really, really makes them think more when we're out and about and completely changes their mindset. So they can no longer just stare off in the distance and self-satisfy on the environment. She actually has to start paying attention to me and keep, concentration. This is what is huge for dogs that are reactive, like to bark at everything, lunging at the leash. We teach them that, hey, you have to pay attention and you cannot pull me anymore. And that just completely flips their mind. And also on this, you notice I'm not bribing her with food to look at me. A lot of trainers do that. They say, look at me, and then reward the dog when the dog looks at me. Well, guess what? There's competing motivators out there, and your piece of hot dog isn't always going to beat the strange dog that's barking in crazy across the street. It just doesn't happen. So now we're moving on to some more positions. This is a little bit further in on week 1. She's a lot more comfortable with following my hand. So now I start adding leash pressure. So as you can see, I pull up on the leash right there, and then as soon as her butt hits the ground, I release the pressure. And then here I'm guiding her around and forward for the heel position. She gets a little stuck, and then upwards. And as soon as her butt hits the ground, I release that leash pressure. This is probably one of the most important parts of dog training is it's called negative reinforcements. So meaning I'm adding some pressure, upwards until she does what I want her to do, and then all the pressure goes away. So if you think about your car seat dinger, that's exactly the same thing. We're negatively reinforced to put our seatbelt on. It's kind of annoying if you don't put it on, right? It dings, ding, 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 until you click that in the seatbelt, then the dinging goes away. It's the same thing with leash pressure work. So we add that in on top of still using lots of food. We really want to reinforce that and get her moving in all these positions. The other thing is on week one, we should definitely start adding on the e-collar conditioning. So it's the very same thing. I'm e-collar goes on the same time that I'm pulling up on the leash right there, and then as soon as her butt goes down, I release everything. I release all that leash pressure. So now that we've gone through and shown you what we do on week one, you can see through a couple of these clips showing some other dogs that I've trained, some of my personal dogs that I've trained. They all have gone through the same exact system. So we always start with the luring, with the food, and then going into the leash pressure work, making sure the dog is super comfortable, get into each position, and then eventually adding on the e-collar on super low levels, getting them conditioned to that, and just kind of rinse and repeat. So this is the foundation, guys. This is where the reliability comes from. We make this as solid as we can, and then we just keep moving forward and forward with this until the dogs really, really get a good grasp of it. So as you can see, this training system works. It's reliable. Any dog can go through this. It doesn't matter what breed. Every dog still can learn the same, just like humans. It's all based off of reinforcement and then, of course, punishments. The punishment side of things comes later once the dog really understands what they're supposed to do. But without the negative reinforcements, without punishments, that sort of stuff, the dogs will ultimately choose to self satisfy and do whatever they want. So we have to show them that these commands are not optional, that you must do these things. And then, of course, when they do all these awesome things with us, we are going to reward them. In the beginning, we reward them almost on every single rep, get that motivation up, get them really, really love training with us. And then we slowly start to fade that out and become more like slot machines. And so then the dog's brain kind of changes. And so then they're thinking, oh man, maybe this time I'll get a treat. Oh, nope, it wasn't this time. Okay, next time. Next time, for sure, I'm going to get the treats. And then they really, really start to become addicted to working with us. They really enjoy working with us. And then in the end, we have awesome, reliable dogs and a great companion to live our lives with. All in all, this was kind of week one. I'm just showing some extra footage at the end here. But week one is just lots of luring and getting, established with all the positions, some loose leash walking introductions, and adding on some e-collar conditioning. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for episode 3.